Okay. Okay, I decided to make this because I left out a vision that I had. And I think this was the first vision I had. There could have been other visions I had before then, but mainly before all those other visions I had, this is the first vision I had. I was standing, I'm going to say about 2 football fields away from the White House, and I'm not very good at judging distances, so it was at nighttime. And you could see the White House. As the White House looks, it has this and it has that and everything else. And I hear a boom, and then what I see is sand, you know, dirt coming up in a slanted direction towards me. And it's coming up like this. And it's coming up in a slanted like direction. Now it covers the White House, falls down, and then the White House is there no more. Now, basically, if you had a bomb in the White House, it wouldn't cause the sand to come up like that. So I think it would just, you'd see a large, gigantic flash, and that's it. You know, a bomb under the White House? I don't know. I mean, maybe. I don't get it because, you know, it comes up in a slanted-like direction. So I really don't know if it's a bomb under the White House. I think a bomb under the White House. And I think this is what precedes the other visions. And the future war that happens 5 years from now. That future war, according to what it was supposed to start in 2017. Well, I haven't seen a war start in 2017. I obviously didn't see I didn't see a gigantic wave coming in and crashing over in 2017. But what the Beak said, it was a future war. You got to understand, the water I saw was not the result of an asteroid. If the being said it was a future war that happened 5 years from now, and that is using water as a weapon of warfare. And that's what that was. That was using water as a weapon of warfare. So we have a future war. A future war that was in 2012, and it said what you saw was a future war that will happen 5 years from now. And that's what it said. A future war that happened 5 years from now. But it was not due to an asteroid at all. The being said it was due to warfare. And this is what it is. A gigantic wave coming in, and it is using tsunamis as a tool of warfare. That's what it was. It was using tsunamis as a tool of warfare. And that's exactly what the being meant. It meant using tsunamis as a tool of warfare. In other words, using water as a tool of war. And that's what it was. It didn't have anything to do with an asteroid. That comes in 2036, after the 2021 event. Also, I found some information that China has a plan to basically wage unrestricted warfare in 2021. Is it a possibility that me seeing that in 2021 has something to do with that? You know what I mean? Is it a possibility that I saw that it has something to do with that? You know, 2017. I mean, you know, the war begins in 2017. I didn't see a gigantic wave, and nobody was rounded up and then fenced enclosure camps. Also, I want to describe these camps a little bit more. The camps were not, the camps were not tent camps. You didn't have a tent here, or it didn't look like a ghetto or something like that, or, you know, it was just a bunch of people rounded up, like automatically if you took, you know, if you just took a barbed wire fence and made like a square opening and you put a whole bunch of animals in there, that's what it looked like. Now, this is a possibility that has something to do with the White House being blown up. Whether the White House actually is blown up or not, I don't know. I mean, I didn't really see an explosion. I just saw a bunch of dirt coming up in a slanted direction, goes down, the White House there no more. But it's a possibility of something like that. They'll definitely start going out and rounding people up as domestic terrorists if that happens. Whether that's going to happen or not, I don't know. But that was one of the things. All the other events precede it. The other events precede it. I think the Mars event didn't precede it. But who knows? I can't remember because it's in 2012 and now it's already 2020. So it's kind of hard to remember all of it. But anyways, that's what I saw. Also, when I was walking out to my car after going to a store, I walked out to my car before anything I heard about any of this coronavirus. I saw me, and I saw rows of people in basic. I saw rows of people, you know, rows of bed, just beds laid out like this, a bed laid out like that, a bed laid out like that, and people were all in it. I was in it, and I was sick too, but I didn't see myself die, so I don't know. Does it have something to do with the coronavirus? I don't know. You know, is it going to mutate into something worse? Come up sometime. It's going to be worse in, you know, in the wintertime? I don't know. I don't know. But it seems like to me that's a hell of a lot worse than the coronavirus, because if you got all kinds of people lined up like that, I mean, you got a major problem there. I mean, that's just not somebody just getting sick and just thing. That seems like to me that's a virus that's going to kill anybody, from what it looked like to me. But that's what I saw, and that's not what you seem to get with the coronavirus. So whether it's even related to it, maybe this is part of what will come as a result of this. Might have nothing to do with the virus. It could do with basically maybe it's people lined up and getting treated for, you know, nuclear, you know, radiation sickness or something. I don't know. Also, I want to describe a little bit more on the last point, my last vision, when I saw basically, you know, what I saw was the white compounds, and they were about a football field big. You got to understand, they were not 2 stories. These were not like megacities. It didn't look anything like the megacities. Whether it's talking about megacities, who knows? Because I heard basically that's what they're doing somewhere. I heard that, you know, but I already had this. And I basically, you know, when somebody was talking about the future, I wrote down my actual visions I saw for the future a long time. I didn't write them down. I actually typed them down on YouTube one time, but then after that I erased them. I can't remember what that was. I know somebody was talking about future events, so I said, hey, I revealed the future events I saw in 2012. So those were the future events. I think that was before 2017. I don't know what happened in 2017. Why 2017 is tend to be connected to 2021. But I'm not going to say that you have to appease China. I don't think that's the real thing to say. But I think basically in this 2020 event, that in this 2020 event, or I mean 2021 that I saw, they're going to have to be very, very careful at this time. And have a lot of forethought. Not to rush into anything, and be extremely aware of what the consequences happen if you do this and do that. And be extremely smart of fighting these fucking thugs and gangsters over there, because that's really what they are. Call them for what they are. That's what they are. You know, I mean, they just take people out. I mean, they take people out that body, you know, they take people who just simply have a different religion and just kill them to get their body parts so they can sell it on the black market. I mean, they're just a bunch of sickos, and I'm sick and tired, you know, and the press says, oh, how wonderful China is. I mean, it's just junk. I mean, so, you know, so I wanted to make this video, because I left the one out about the detonation of a bomb under the White House. It seems like to me, I don't know. I don't know what would cause that. I guess it would have to be a bomb, right? A bomb under the White House. I mean, I don't know how to interpret that. But also, the last part of the vision I talked about this vision. The last part of the vision I talked about, that I saw, basically, I did not see something like that. What I saw is a gigantic fissure open up. So it looked like to me the earth was splitting in two. I mean, it could have just been an earthquake. So that last part with the thing. But but the compounds I saw were not two-story. They were not mega cities. They were small compounds. You know, they were only like a football field, and they were probably 1 story high. You know, just like a regular, like my house. You know, just the ground, and then after that, that's it. That's what I saw. But it was like spread out, and there were no roads connecting these compounds. Okay, these white compounds. There was no roads connecting them, and there were no telephone poles. Telephone poles didn't exist. It was just white compounds. And they were dotted from area to area, surrounded by green, lush environment. But I'm going to have to say that I didn't actually see a gigantic rogue planet going through the sky. It's just my inference of it because of the way in which it looked. I mean, it was a gigantic fissure, spread out long, peer over. Hell of it, you see that? It looked like to me the Earth was splitting in two. So I want to explain that. Also, the woman I saw, which I think was flying over Mars in a futuristic jet, I guess. It looked like a jet. It had the Concorde, but it was a really small one. It wasn't a big jet. It wasn't some gigantic jet. It was a small, like, jet. If you were to take my room, it's about how big the jet was. And then it had a curved-in cone. It had a curved-in nose like the Concorde. You remember how the Concorde had a curved-in nose? You know, it kind of curved in. If you look at the Concorde, this is exactly what this had. Now, the woman had blonde hair. The woman had blonde hair. The woman had blonde hair. She was blonde hair. She was blue-eyed, blonde hair. She wore like some sort of helmet, but she didn't have a visor on. Neither did she have an oxygen mask. And when she talked, she just regularly talked, and everybody could hear her out there. So that's what I saw. I also saw something on YouTube, something about Sid Supernatural, and some guy said he had a near-death experience and he saw something. I never heard anything about 2029. So I want to get that straight, and I want to get that straight. I never heard anything about 2029. I heard 2036, that's all I heard. I never heard 2039. 2015, 2036, I mean, you got to imagine, what is it, 2015, 2036? So I never one time heard anything about 2029. Also, he says there's 2 asteroids. I never see 2 asteroids. I only saw one large, big mountain-sized asteroid. And it's not 1,000 feet. According to that, it said it was 3 meters wide. Yeah, that's more like it. That's what it was, a mountain-sized asteroid. That's what I saw. So I just want to basically, that's why I just kind of made this up. That's why I kind of made this video, so to say, that I decided to make this video, because I don't think I explained some things very well. Also, I left out a vision, and that was the vision that preceded all the others. And that's a possibility. It could be, a terrorist attack, false flag, whatever you want to think. Terrorist attack, false flag, because definitely, as many people are on YouTube telling how much, I mean, it ain't going to take them for anything finding who those people are. I'm not any terrorist, but I'm saying anybody they see as a potential terrorist. So that's what I wanted to think. It's, there was a detonation of a bomb under the White House, it seems to me, and I think all this other stuff leads to that. So that's what I saw. This is probably the last one. Who knows? I'm probably not going to even put this video up here because I don't know if I'm going to put this video up right now. I think I'm going to remake it.